You are listening to the Nature's Premier Podcast, Episode 6. Here on the Nature's Premier Podcast, we talk about everything from bees to babies and sustainable living. Join us while we talk about natural parenting and different ways to live a more sustainable lifestyle for ourselves and our future generations to come. Now let's begin. Welcome back to the Nature's Premier Podcast. I am your host, Brooke Nichols, and I am so excited to be here with you all today. On today's episode, we are going to be chatting with Janet Kearney, founder of the first ever vegan pregnancy and parenting website. She is also the host of a very helpful Facebook group, Vegan Pregnancy and Parenting, that has over 22,000 active members. In tandem to this, Janet is a financial controller for a construction management company in Manhattan. She was born and raised in Ireland and now resides in Rockland County with her 2 young children and husband. Janet, welcome to the show.
Hey, Brooke, how are you? Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Yes, we are so excited to have you here. So when I stumbled on your Facebook page, I was really interested. And now that I'm finding out that you're having a new website launching, can you tell us a little bit more about that and what you guys are going to be having on it?
Well, the website's really about vegan kids and stuff, but it's also to help parents who just are having a lot of problems, with just getting vegetables into their kids, because the standard American diet is like a lot of processed food, and people are starting to realize that, that's not the healthiest, and kids' diabetes and stuff is just on the rise. So we're going to try and help people, look, you don't have to give them broccoli. You can disguise it in a better way without putting the oils and the fats and stuff into it, and they will like it and they will eat it. So that's really what it is.
So are you going to be having recipes on there, different types of articles? Is it going to be a one-stop resource type of website?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So we have a couple of doctors, nutritionists. Then we have a pregnancy section with midwives and nurses and stuff. So it's really from conception to teenage years. So when you get pregnant, it's about nutrition, eating enough, getting enough vitamins. And then when you have the baby, what to do, if you want to breastfeed or formula feed or whatever you want to do. And then when they're toddlers, just getting the right nutrition into them and making sure that they have everything. Because a lot of the people, their only exposure to vegan kids is when somebody does something harmful, whereas there are thousands of kids who are extremely healthy and they don't consume meat. And then there's allergies as well. People just can't consume it because of allergies. So it's just the whole way through, and then activities, and there's a lot of resources. There's even a section where you can enter in your zip code or your address for anywhere in the entire world, and it'll bring up the closest vegetarian restaurants and vegan restaurants closest to you.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it's going to be so it's a directory then, so we can find out different restaurants instead of Googling and seeing a bunch of, like in Long Island, we would Google, a vegetarian restaurant or, paleo restaurant, and a lot of times it would be, closed and it won't be up to date. So this is going to be an up-to-date resource of restaurants that are going to be in the area?
Yeah, anywhere in the world. We've worked with another app that's called Happy Cow. So they've incorporated their platform into ours. So anywhere in the world. And you can pick anything you want, vegetarian, paleo, vegan, any kind of food choices you have, even for allergies, and it'll tell you what restaurants are near you and you can go and see them. But we also have a couple of bloggers, some people who wrote books, and they're contributing their pictures and articles and recipes to the website, and they're posting them at the moment. So when it goes live, there'll be a lot.
Oh, very cool. And when is it expected to go live?
August 1st. It's going to be live on August 1st.
Oh, that is okay. That's a fantastic resource. And is it going to be the site only, or are you guys going to have an app?
Well, I don't know about the app. So a lot of people keep asking us about the app. At the moment, we're just trying to get the site up. It will be user friendly for cell phones, but at the moment we're trying to work on the site. Hopefully, in the future, we'll have an app towards the end of the year, closer to 2018. But for the moment, just a website.
It's so funny because I'm so anti-tech, but whenever someone tells me about a website, I'm like, oh, is there an app? It's I don't even realize how much people utilize that. But yeah, as long as it's user friendly for the cell phone, then it's totally fine. That's usually the biggest reason with the whole app thing. But that's great because for me, I have 3 children and we are vegetarians, and I didn't really have a resource when I was pregnant with them, and like we would Google and things like that, but obviously, the computer now is this is like over 10 years ago. It's very different than it was 10 years ago.
Yeah,
even though,
of course.
and there was just not a lot of groups. There wasn't really, like, even now there's some things, there's some groups, but it's a hit or miss. What I really like about your group, Janet, is the Vegan Pregnancy and Parenting group, is that it's very active with members that, they ask questions and there's no judgments, and, it's not like anyone trying to play doctors. They're literally just telling you what works for them. And it's just a very, like, resourceful site. So anybody who, they're looking to, like, live or eat a more plant-based lifestyle, even if they're not looking to take meat entirely out of their diet, I think this is a really good judgment-free zone page, and I definitely recommend anybody listening to check it out. So what are some, like, ways that we can have, give some healthy food to our toddlers? I get questions all the time about that because a lot of people do know that my children are plant-based, and they're always asking me about different tips, and if their child likes to eat fries, or just little kids love to eat candy and stuff.
Yeah. Like, well, look, I have 2 kids. You know what I mean? Like, they would live on French fries and candy 24/7 if they got away with it. Absolutely. Like, they're, we may be all like, we eat healthy, but no, they would eat French fries for breakfast if they could get away with it. So, so a lot of the stuff we do is they're addicted to ice cream all the time. So but they've never actually had, like, traditional ice cream. So we freeze bananas all the time, and we get them, we make them help us, like, so they help with the bananas. They break up the frozen bananas and they get the frozen strawberries, and we put them all into the blender and we make ice cream, and that's what they now think is ice cream, so they'll eat that all the time. A couple of friends of mine, they wanted to do the same, but their kids were so used to the sweetness of actual ice cream, so they'd start putting, like, a vanilla extract and stuff into it to give it that sweetness, and then taper it down over time. And now they'll just eat the frozen fruit. For, like, fries and stuff, or just for getting vegetables into the kids, because my son, he went through that really picky toddler. He just wanted to live on pasta. That was it. He just wanted pasta, and then he wouldn't eat, and you're like, oh my goodness, what the hell are you going to do? Yeah. But so what we used to do was we'd mash up, like, sweet potato and broccoli. We'd cook it, mash it up, cut it into shapes of dinosaurs, and bake it for 20 minutes. And he would just think that was, like, chicken nuggets or something that you would buy that you would just bake, because it looks like it. And I don't, they're pretty easily convinced. It just takes a little bit of effort and they're away. Sweet potato fries, we make them all the time. That's a total staple in our house. Sweet potato fries, 24/7, 7 days a week. Like, they're always in our house. But we don't use any oils. We just literally cut them up, bake them, and they eat them. So it's just the same as if you boiled a potato, but it just looks more appealing to toddlers.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so you literally just cut them up and you bake them. You don't put any kind of coating or anything like that on them? No,
nothing. Absolutely nothing. Sometimes I'll put, like, a little bit of water in the bottom of the tray to give a tiny bit, like a teaspoon or 2, to make them a little bit more crunchier, but that's it.
Okay, see, yeah, I have to take your advice. I'm definitely excited about the website because I guess the Italian in me would love to, like, bread everything.
Yeah.
I try not to.
Well, the carb addict in me wants to bread and oil everything.
Yes, exactly. That's like my staple. So it's very funny too, because that's very true what you said earlier, Janet. Like, when people hear that, oh, you eat plant-based and oh, that's so healthy, it's like, yeah, but we all have urges.
Yeah.
Like, I would totally just eat, like, that vegan Ben and Jerry's ice cream. I don't know if you've tried. I mean, I would just have that all day. Like, I just, if I could, you know what I mean? Like, I probably would just eat that constantly. But yeah, no, that's very interesting. Okay, so that's helpful. So that's the kind of stuff that's going to be on the site. I think that's really informative. It's funny too, because I'm always looking for, like, for me myself, I'm always looking for different recipes. Other than, like, like you have the Gardein products, which I think are great. But that's processed too. So you want to eat that in moderation. I think the biggest thing is to get, fruits and vegetables more into the diet of, young children, of, even older people. I mean, it's really super important. Now, I think you mentioned that you're going to be are you going to have pediatricians on the website? Like, blogging?
We don't. We're talking about a pediatrician at the moment, but we do have a medical doctor. She's an American medical doctor, and she studied nutrition also. So she is signed up for the website at the moment, and she's in the group. When you mentioned that, like, we don't allow anybody to offer medical advice. They can give their own advice of what they did to treat something, but if somebody starts crossing that line, giving medical advice to members, we delete the comment and we'll tag the actual doctor in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she'll come along and be like, no, you need to go see your physician or whatever it is that they need to do. So we have her, and we're going to do a live question and answer once a month for people who have questions. Just not so much, how do I treat something, but what do I do with this problem? Or this is a rash my kid has, and stuff that people don't necessarily want to go to the doctor for. So it's just easier for them to quickly ask this question, or they can post a picture on the website and they will have a medical profession go, that looks like you need to go get it treated, or that's totally normal. Put some cream on it and call it a day.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's going to be like a Facebook Live, and it's in the group?
Yeah, it's in the group. It's starting at the end of June, and then we're going to upload the videos onto the website so people can go back and watch them if they want. And we'll have a quick description of what the questions were for that particular video.
So are you going to have a YouTube channel too, or this is all going to be embedded on the actual site?
We do have a YouTube channel. We're still talking about whether we want to put it up on YouTube or not, because it's starting to get into a grey area. We don't want to offer people medical advice. This is just all standard stuff that you can Google, but it's just easier to find. We obviously don't want to cross that line where we're acting as people's doctors. Absolutely not. So we're still talking about whether we want to open ourselves up to putting this on YouTube. We might just keep it to the website and to the Facebook group, to the members that we have. We have such a large membership base as it is. There's 22,000 people in it at the moment, and it's growing really quickly at the moment at 300 to 400 people on average a week. So I think come August that we'll have enough views and we'll be helping enough parents.
Yeah, no, that's great. And that's interesting that you say that, because being Facebook, I get added to groups constantly, even against my will. People just add me all the time. But the vegan pregnancy and parenting group, I was really surprised, because a lot of times you'll see 80,000 people in a group, but you only see maybe the engagement of maybe 200 to 300 people. But in the vegan pregnancy and parenting group on Facebook, there's so much engagement. There's so many people that are active on it, and it's really impressive. It's a very and I really wish that I had that resource when I was pregnant with my children. When I was pregnant with my oldest, even being a lifelong vegetarian, I stopped eating meat when I was 3.5, 4 years old, and that was just a choice for me. But I started to question, okay, how is the baby going to get protein? I was very, very concerned with my oldest. And even though I was completely healthy, didn't have any medical issues, was a very healthy vegetarian growing up, I still questioned a lot of that. And I think a lot of that had to do with just hearing things. I think it's a lot of people just don't understand. They kind of go back to conventional diet, thinking, things that they've heard and criticisms they've gotten. So that's why I think this website is such a good resource, because it will give, the confidence to families, especially if they're going to follow their intuition. For me, even if I wanted to eat meat when I was pregnant, it made me sick. I couldn't even walk down the meat aisle. It literally made me violently sick.
That's how the group really started, because when I became pregnant with my son for the first time, everybody's like, yeah, you're a vegan, that's great, you can do what you want. But as soon as you become pregnant, everyone's like, oh no, hold on, there's another person involved. I don't know if this is healthy. So everyone questions you, and it's coming from a place of love. They're not trying to be mean. They're genuinely worried. So I went online and I couldn't really find anything. There was a couple of blog posts and stuff. And then I went onto Facebook and I was like, well, sure, there's a group for everything. I saw a group one day for different hairstyles for dogs. So I was like, surely there's a group. I was like, surely there's a group for vegan parents. And there wasn't. There was nothing. And so that's how we started. I was like, right, well, we're starting one. And it just blew up. It just went crazy. There was so many parents and they all joined. And then I guess once one person joins, they know some parents who are doing the same. And then we get a lot of parents who are in there and their kids are allergic to soy or eggs or dairy. And it's devastating news for them, because they just don't know how to not serve those foods. So they come in and they ask advice, and the members are really great. They're like, okay, fine, you're not a vegan, but these are the foods that you can make.
Yes, I've seen that, and that's what I really love about like the non-judgmental aspect of it too, because a lot of people they'll think that they'll get judged if they ask questions. Some families do still want to incorporate fish or some kind of red meat into their diet, but dairy is like a big thing that many people are really starting to avoid for so many different reasons. So, what are some things that you recommend, like that you see in the group that people do to supplement dairy, even if they're not like vegans or vegetarian?
Well, the thing is, like, the dairy that our body needs isn't as much as we think it is. It's the same with protein, but people don't realize that a cup of spinach is the same amount of dairy as a yogurt. So, a cup of oatmeal is the same amount of dairy as calcium as a yogurt. So when you tell people that, they're like, "That's not true. That's definitely not true." And then they Google it, and they're like, "Oh, it is." And my kid eats oatmeal every single morning, and then they realize that they're actually getting enough dairy and calcium, that they're getting enough calcium that they need without having to supplement. But we do always suggest giving kids a multivitamin every day, just because they are so picky, and trying to get food into them sometimes is just really, really hard.
Yes. Now, what kind of multivitamins do you recommend? Like, I have Tall Tree Kids that I use, and my kids are of course, picky with everything. I mean, you give them pizza, they're fine, with the vegan cheese. Yeah. But if it's multivitamins, it's got to be sugar-coated and all this other stuff. Like, what are some things that you see people using in the group, like different brands?
I don't know. It's so hard to recommend one multivitamin, because everybody in the group is from everywhere in the world. It's like what one person can get in New Zealand and Australia, another person in the UK can't get. So what we did is we made a list in the group of all the multivitamins that people have suggested, and it works, and it suits their lifestyle. And we've put it together and we put it in the files, so people can go through there and they can see if that particular brand is in the country that they're from, and then get that for their kid. Like, everything's on Amazon these days anyway, you can Google it. But we did put that list together because everyone would be like, "Well, what do you suggest?" And you'd suggest something, and they're like, "Well, I'm in Bangkok, I can't get any of these." And we're like, "Okay, we have to put this list together."
And that's going to be found on the site too, right?
Yeah, it's on the site as well. Then just a list of multivitamins for moms who are pregnant or breastfeeding, a list of helpful books for when you're pregnant, things like that.
Okay, cool. So now, Janet, like, let's say I'm a new mom and I'm pregnant and I can't eat meat because I'm sick. I'm like really sick. I can't deal with it. If I go onto your site, so it's really like just so our audience has an idea. It's just a total resource for being plant-based, being vegetarian, vegan, and I could find like recipes. I can find, different nutritional information. Like, that's pretty much what the site is about? It's a full resource?
Yeah. So if you found yourself pregnant, or even if you just found yourself pregnant and you wanted to find out about midwives, giving birth, hospital procedures, maybe if you wanted to give birth at home, you can go on, read all the stories, things that you need, resources, midwives. Then you can read self-care help, the blog posts that other bloggers have read. Doctors, there's an interactive part of it where there's plant-based doctors all over the world that we've put into it. Again, put in your zip code, it'll bring up all the closest doctors to you that you can go visit. There's an allergy section of what to look out for, what not to look out for. Then there's the recipes, just the regular things, starters, dinners, lunch, find restaurants near you. There's resources for sanctuaries anywhere. If you want to bring your kids out for the day and you don't know what to do, it's Sunday, you can go and have a look. There's videos of animals for a sanctuary that we're working with. They're sending over them. So if you just want to put your kids down for 5 minutes and take a 5-minute break, you can give them the iPad and then go watch the videos.
Wow. Okay. So see, I'm glad I asked the question because I'm thinking it's just like recipes and things. So this is actually a total resource for, pregnancy and parenting. So if I'm looking for a midwife, I can shoot on this website. I can find a midwife. If I'm looking for a sanctuary, which, they're everywhere. So I think that's great. Cause like sometimes I'm looking for sanctuaries and when we're limited here in New York, but I know California and, different parts of the country have different amount of sanctuaries. And sometimes that's not like as easy to find as everyone thinks. So
for
I
sure.
think that's great. Very cool. Yeah, I wasn't even aware of that. So yeah, it's not just the recipes. It's definitely
No, it's not. No, of course not. We also have a section with a calendar, and it'll have all different kids festivals that are plant-based. Kids festivals, adults festivals, food festivals, and you can go in and have a look. Now, it's just a calendar and a list, so we're constantly updating it, and you can see if any of them are close enough to you to go or maybe sign up and get tickets for.
That is so cool. Oh, that's so exciting. Very cool. And what is the actual the website called? It's Vegan Pregnancy and Parenting. Are there any hyphens or anything?
No,
Okay.
no, it's the exact same. It's the exact same as the Facebook group. So we tried to make it as easy as possible for people to like transition from one to the other. So it's just veganpregnancyandparenting.com.
Okay, very cool. And can you tell me? I saw this floating around Facebook a little bit, just so our listeners can understand too. What exactly is Thunderclap?
So Thunderclap is this really, really great website. It's for launching. People used to use it for books all the time, but now it's a lot of people are getting on board for using it for websites. So we ask everybody to go onto it. The link is on our Facebook page, and it doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't ask you for anything. You just go on, click on the link, and when you bring you to the link, and it will show you the release date for the website, and it has a support button, and you literally just go and you click it and you say, I support it, I support this website, I support raising kids healthier. And then on the day of the launch, which is August 1st, it just posts once to everybody's social media, whatever you use, Twitter or Facebook, just once saying the website is launched, and it tries to make the hashtag go viral. Semi-viral, I guess, so that more people are exposed to it and they see that there is a resource for parents to go to, because there isn't at the moment. There is no website. There's a couple of blogs. There's other websites where they touch on raising kids as vegans or raising them more in a plant-based lifestyle. But for one concise place, there just isn't at the moment.
Yeah, and we really do. It's about time we do have like a full comprehensive resource of, this type of parenting, because it's, we all need support, and I think it's fantastic. And I will definitely be sharing that site. That's just like something that I could share right onto my business page, and then other people can support it.
Of course. You don't even have to share it if you don't want to. You can just go on and click support. But there is a link if you want to share it and say, hey guys, I think this is a good idea. Please go click support and sign up for it.
Very cool. Oh, that is so interesting. Well, Janet, thank you so much for coming on to the show today. We are so excited about your new website. So our listeners, for anyone that is looking to live a more plant-based lifestyle, they're looking for events, they're looking for a comprehensive website, they can find all sorts of different things about pregnancy and parenting, please do check out veganpregnancyandparenting.com. It launches August 1st. And we highly recommend, me personally, this is a personal recommendation, checking out Vegan Pregnancy and Parenting group on Facebook. It is awesome. You can ask any question you want. There are no judgments, and I'm really enjoying the site, and I'm definitely an active member.
Okay, great. Thanks so much, Brooke. I really, really appreciate coming on here today.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, Janet, and we would love to have you back on when the website does launch.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That'd be great. And hopefully I won't be too busy, because so far it's been pretty crazy. So we're hoping things calm down after August 1st.
Okay, well, we'll definitely take that into consideration. But thank you so much, Janet. You have a great day.
All right, you too. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That wraps up our interview with Janet Kearney of veganpregnancyandparenting.com. Again, their website launches August 1st, and we highly recommend checking it out. Even if you aren't looking to eliminate meat out of your diet completely, and you are just looking for some healthy recipes, some really good resources about doulas, midwives, and the like, definitely check them out. And in the meantime, please check them out on Facebook and Instagram. It is really a plethora of resources and information that would definitely help pretty much anybody looking to learn more about a meatless lifestyle. Thank you guys so much again for tuning into the podcast. We really appreciate all of our listeners. If you guys have any recommendations or ideas for future podcast episodes, please do shoot us an email at speaking@naturespremiere.com. We are always looking for your feedback and suggestions to make our show a better resource for you all. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will catch you back again next week. Take care, friends.